Hi and welcome to the first of what I'm hoping is going to be a popular series called Cooking with Miss Lloyd. And today Miss Lloyd is going to be teaching me, a novice at cooking. I don't cook very often, I must admit that, but I'm really looking forward to learning some really simple recipes that we can all use at home. So we want to send these out on a Friday because I know people are feeling a bit tired and they want something active to do. Why not get into the kitchen and pick up a bowl and start doing a little bit of cooking? So today we're going to be learning how to make these wonderful, and I must admit they do smell absolutely divine, Scotch pancakes. Yes. So Miss Lloyd is going to teach us how to do this. And we're going to be doing weekly little vodcasts on some simple recipes that you can try at home from simple ingredients, but always important, make sure you've got some adult supervision with you. So let's move over.
Today we're going to start off our new section on a Friday of making Scotch pancakes. The basic ingredients I think has already been sent home for you, but they are 225 grams of self-raising flour, or you can use 225 grams of plain flour with a teaspoon of baking powder added. If you mix those together, that's the equivalent of self-raising flour. You will need 1 egg, you will need 40 grams of sugar, you will need 250 millilitres of milk, and then if you choose you can add a flavouring. I've put a few lists on the sheet that went out, but today we've got blueberries and chocolate chips. Right, as we can add flavour. I've also actually bought an orange that we could have put orange zest in if we wanted to do chocolate orange flavoured ones. Okay, Mr. Dom is actually going to be making today, so we're all ready to start. We've washed our hands, we've filled our bowl with hot soapy water, and we've got all our equipment out that's listed on the sheet ready to go. Right, so to start off with Mr. Darnley, what I'd like to do is put the the self-raising flour. We've got a bowl of self-raising flour.
Self-raising flour.
Yeah. So there's 225 grams of self-raising flour. Can you tip that into the bowl for me?
225 grams of self-raising flour going into the bowl.
Right, I don't tend to sift it or
anything.
anything.
What we're cooking?
Yes, Scotch pancakes.
Scotch pancakes. Lovely, excellent.
Right, then you need to add the sugar, please, sir. So there's 40 grams of sugar in the bowl.
Just normal white sugar?
It's just normal white sugar.
Normal white sugar, even I can do that.
Sugar if you want, but it doesn't matter. That's just ordinary granulated sugar, 40 grams. And then can you just give it a quick stir?
Lovely, giving it a quick stir now.
Right.
Even I can cope with this, Miss Lloyd.
Yes,
nice
it's really straightforward. It's quite a nice one. It's a nice one to have as snacks or for breakfast, and you can also make it in advance and actually keep it a couple of days in the fridge.
Healthy, would you say?
Somewhat. It depends on what sort of flavours you put in. If we have chocolate chips, I wouldn't say it's as healthy. But if you use things like blueberries or orange zest, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's quite low in fat. 40 grams of sugar divided over roughly about 12 pancakes we'll make isn't ridiculously high.
Yeah. What about the sugar? Is there a substitute for sugar that can make it more healthy?
You can use sweetener.
Yeah.
But I try and avoid sweetener because I think you can add too much sweetener to things. Fat does give it a funny taste as well. So 40 grams of sugar. You could actually lower it and put just 25 grams in.
Yeah. Brilliant. So that's my flour gone in and my sugar gone in.
Right. Next, you need to
good
take the egg,
stirring there. Do you agree, Miss?
I
Good
think
stirring.
you're doing a brilliant job so far.
Brilliant.
Right, you're going to take the egg next.
The egg.
Right.
Oh.
Make a well in the middle of your bowl, sir. So use the wooden spoon just to make like a little hole in the middle, and then take your spoon.
Put the egg down. So little hole in the middle.
Brilliant. And then you need to crack your egg into that hole.
Right. There you go.
Right, there's a spoon at the side you might find easy just to crack
just
it.
normally crack it
in the side of the bowl.
Yeah.
Expert, sir.
There we
Right,
go. In the middle.
Put the egg into one of those bowls.
Isn't that perfect? One of these?
Yes, that's perfect, thank you. And then put about half the milk in.
Half the milk.
Right, so we've got 250 ml of milk already measured out.
Yep.
Right, if you just tip about half of that into there.
Half the milk going in.
Right,
yep,
and
nice
then
and
use
easy.
a wooden spoon now to start combining it together. Start just using the liquidy part and then start blending it, and it will get quite thick.
Oh, I can see it coagulating. Is that the right word, Miss?
Coming together.
Coming together. Yeah, blending.
Right, and it will be quite thick to start with. You might actually just want to add a little bit more milk to that, sir.
Yeah, give it a bit. Yeah, a bit more milk.
Yeah.
There we go.
Brilliant.
No.
Not yet, because if you add it all together, you'll find it will go lumpy.
Right.
So you actually want a thick mixture first, and then you'll add the milk then to loosen it up. And therefore then you won't get any lumps.
So too much milk will make it go lumpy.
You put all the milk in at start with, it will go lumpy.
Super. Oh, right. I can really feel it sticking together now, Miss Lloyd.
Right, you give it a really good mix now. A bit of elbow grease, sir. A bit harder than that. Right, and then add a
I
bit
didn't
more
realise
milk.
cooking was so hard.
Right, now add a bit more milk.
A bit more
Stir
milk.
that in.
Yep. Okay.
I would add another about a third of that.
A third.
Yeah.
It's going a nice sort of
Thick consistency.
beigey colour.
We're after
Yeah.
a consistency basically of double cream, quite thick to make these Scotch pancakes with.
Yeah.
Right, but it'll take you a few minutes just to get that to mix, just to get it to loosen up a little bit now.
Can you use a blender for these things, or?
You could use a food processor, you could use a blender if you wanted and chuck everything in.
Yeah.
I have a Ninja blender thing at home which I do something like this in quite happily.
Yeah.
Right, then pour about another third of the milk in there.
Put in the rest. Yeah.
Quietly, just a bit more in.
A bit more.
Yeah. You just get that to loosen off just a little bit more.
You see, that's a common mistake I probably would have made. I would have just put all the milk in it.
Yes, and
one
that's
go.
where most people go wrong.
Yeah.
I prefer to add a little bit at a time so you get a smooth consistency.
Yeah, I can see it going all. I can see all the lumps working its way out.
Start seeing the protein or the gluten in the flour actually sort of
Brilliant.
that stretch of quality about it.
Right.
I'll add now the rest of the milk and just stir it and then you do.
It's quite an easy recipe, really, isn't it?
Oh, it
because
is.
I mean, all
And
of
it's a
these
great one.
ingredients, you
And to be
generally.
honest, you can actually even make the dough and leave that in the fridge till you want it.
Oh,
It
okay.
could last in the fridge 24 hours.
Oh, amazing. Ah.
Something that's quite nice to do the night before, ready
Yeah.
for breakfast in the morning. And it's really nice. You could serve these as well, pancakes with lots of different fruit as well to make a balanced breakfast.
Amazing.
Maybe a bit of Greek yogurt as well.
Yeah.
Try a bit more protein.
So just for our viewers at home, you can see it's going nice and
Smooth consistency.
smooth consistency. Yeah, the
Right, but
lumps.
it's quite thick. If you
Yeah.
just add the rest of the milk, sir.
So the rest of the milk to go in.
Right, beautiful.
Lovely. And I'm guessing, I suppose I can see in front of me, I've got chocolate chip cookies and blackberries.
Blueberries.
Blueberries, that's it, blueberries. But I'm guessing you could put other fruits in, strawberries?
You
and-
could. It depends. I think strawberries don't cook as well.
Right,
I think things like the zest of orange and lemons works really well. Raisins works really well in this.
yeah,
Right, but you could make up anything of your own.
yeah.
You could make them very unhealthy or very healthy, depending on obviously what you serve them with or what you do with them.
Well, I suppose that's a great thing with this simple pancake recipe. You can add or remove
Yes,
whatever
and
you
you can have
feel.
them plain.
Yeah,
My daughter loves these plain for breakfast in the morning, and then I just put fruit on the side.
yeah, my kids absolutely love. In fact, I went to Sainsbury's the other day and they have buttermilk
Yes.
pancakes.
Yes.
Oh, divine, absolutely divine. So, here we go.
Right,
How's that
that's
looking,
perfect.
Miss?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Right. What I tend to do is actually add my flavourings once I've actually put them in the frying pan. So what I've actually got some fry light there, sir. So if
Yeah.
you pick up the fry light, take the lid off.
So I use this at home actually, so this is really
Yes.
low calorie stuff.
It is.
Yeah,
you can
1
use
cal.
a bit of oil and you just brush a little bit of oil, but you only need a tiny bit just to coat the pan.
Yeah.
I have got a non-stick pan as well, and then I'm going to turn it on. The secret of this is actually not using too hot a pan. Right,
Yeah.
I tend to cook mine at a lower temperature for longer rather than cooking them at a medium temperature, just for a bit more control and so you don't burn them. So we're just going to wait for that to heat up. Now,
Super.
do not leave your cook at any time when you are frying. Right, that's a really important one. Things like this, you need to make sure you stand by the cook and you've got an adult supervision as well.
Yeah, that's really important. Make sure
Yes.
your parents are around. It's quite an easy thing to put together, but I suppose this is the more dangerous part of
It
it.
is.
Very good. And I guess this is called a ladle?
It is a ladle. And you're
Brilliant.
going to ladle. You actually don't need a lot of the mixture. All you're going to aim for is pancakes about that size, and you're going to ladle 3 pancakes into there.
Three?
Yeah, 3
Okay.
at a time I tend to do, and
Yeah.
I make them about that big. And what you'll do find is when you pour the mixture in, the mixture will actually start to spread.
Okay, yeah.
Right? So be aware
Bit
of
like an
that.
omelette.
So it does take a bit of time, and that's part of learning when you're cooking of how
Yeah.
much mixture you need, etc.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I'd
look at that
actually, you won't need a
consistency
full
there.
ladle. Oh, it looks beautiful, sir.
Yeah.
Right, I'll give the pan another minute because it's electric hot. It does take that a little bit longer for the heat just to get through to the pan.
Yeah.
Now, if I lift this up, you can see it's red, but I'm
Yeah.
just waiting just another few seconds, just so we've got some heat into the pan before we do that. Right,
Okay.
are you happy putting the mixture into the pan?
I
sir?
am indeed. Right, so
Right.
we're going to put 3 in,
So
so
you're
I'm
aiming
going to
for 3.
position them
Yes.
towards the edges of the
Yes.
pan. Yeah. So here we go. Here's my first attempt. This one's
Right, that's plenty.
Oh, okay. See, I would have put more in, but I'm glad you told me.
Yeah.
And then we go. Maybe I need to take a bit out of the ladle. And here's another one. Super. And the third one. Does it matter if they stop touching each other?
No, it can't.
Yeah.
They do spread. And what we're doing now is we're going to, because this is where I would now add my flavourings. So if I wanted to put chocolate chips, I pick the chocolate chip pot up, and I just sprinkle a few chocolate chips over the one I wanted to be chocolate chips.
I think I'm going to go for this one here.
Okay.
And
obviously you can choose how many you add.
Oh, put too many on. What about you, Mrs. Lloyd? Would you like some on yours?
I actually prefer blueberries. I'm not a great fan of chocolate in cooking, which sounds strange. There's actually some blueberries just over there. So
blueberries over here.
So if you aim for about, what, 8, 10 blueberries over one?
8, 10, yeah. 6, 7, 8. There we go. Nicely
beautiful.
Spread out.
Right. And all we're going to do now is leave this for a couple of minutes, and what we're waiting for is, can you see how it's just starting to bubble?
Yeah.
We're waiting for more bubbles so that it sets underneath, so then we can turn them over.
Brilliant. So I think the key thing for this really is make sure you've got it on a really low heat, so that it's not going to burn. Because that would have been a mistake I would have made. I would have put all the milk in there and I would have put that on really high. So two key things I've learned. So that's great.
Right, and I've got a non-stick pan.
Yeah.
Right, you can use a spatula. I don't think I actually put that in the list. The spatula is really useful for when you're going to turn them over.
Yeah.
I would not use a metal spatula if you've got a non-stick pan, because it'll just take the coating off. So there's a plastic spatula for when we're ready to turn them over, sir.
So learners at home, do not use one of those with a non-stick pan, because your mum and dad will go mad. So it's important that you stick to one of these plastic ones. Super. Oh, I can see it bubbling now, miss. Yeah, oh, I can even see the chocolate melting.
But what you'll find is the sort of flavouring will actually sink in anyway.
Yeah, because I can see that the drops are falling in.
Yeah, that's the baking powder element which is giving them the rise.
In fact, isn't that the most perfect circular pancake I've ever seen? That's a really nice circle. Yeah, and again, a really simple and easy recipe, isn't it?
Yes.
Brilliant. Well, I'm looking forward to my next cooking lesson, miss. That'll be, can't wait to see what we learn next. So at what point will I need to flip them over, or is it still too early?
It's too early. If you look, you can see that the edge now looks like it's starting to firm up, but it's getting less shiny. I'm looking for that to be far less shiny before I start flipping over. And I'm actually looking for more air pockets over the top as well. Okay. So I'm looking for more bubbles, and I'm looking for it to look less shiny, so I know the mixture's set. If you turn them over too soon, what will happen is the mixture will pour everywhere, and then they won't turn out well. Yeah. Brilliant. You didn't realise there was so much science to cooking. Oh, science and cooking go hand in hand. It's amazing actually of how much it does. Yeah. And students really enjoy the cooking lessons at Beacon Hill Academy. So we've got the options coming up in a few weeks' time, haven't we? Really looking
doing
forward.
The options assemblies next week. So actually, it's a great opportunity for those of you that are considering doing hospitality and catering to have a go, see how you get on, and who knows, you might be having Miss Lloyd or Miss Box as your food technology teachers. Although it's not called food anymore, is it? It's not. It's called hospitality and catering. Yeah. And it's a really successful course. Yeah. And we've done some amazing things over time. Yeah. And it's a really enjoyable course. It links very much heavily onto the hospitality and catering industry, which employs about 2 million people in the UK. Yeah. So it's a really good one to get in. Obviously, COVID hasn't helped, but I'm sure once COVID is over, everyone is wanting to go out for meals and things, because I know I'm desperate to. Yeah. In fact, the job market in the Black Country area suggests that there's more jobs in the hospitality industry now than there's ever been before. Right. So, would you like to pick them up? I would indeed. So if I'm going to go for this one first. I'm just going to part it. Oh, yeah, that's good. And then just oh, wow, look at that. That's a nice little golden colour. I've actually got a senior leadership team meeting in half an hour. Am I able to take some of these? Oh, okay, that one's a little bit burnt, but I can... First ones are always the worst. Fob that one off to Mr. Mahone. There we go. Oh, there we go. Right, and then you just need to leave them for about another minute, and then you can then put them on a plate ready to go. Super. Right, so we've got an orange there. What do we do with the orange? Oh, that's just if we wanted to add zest to the orange. I haven't done it in this instance. Well, look at this, guys. Isn't this just amazing? Nice and easy. If I can do it, you can do it. Very, very grateful to Miss Lloyd this morning for giving up her time. Yeah, looking forward to our next session of cooking with Miss Lloyd.
Right, we're going to take those out.
Oh, we haven't finished yet.
We've got the rest of the mixture to use up soon.
Oh,
Yes.
excellent.
Right,
So can I get a bit more creative now then?
You can.
Yeah.
But I think you need to, one, aim for them to be just a little bit smaller to make life a little easier.
Yeah.
And I think we just need to watch we don't just catch them in the pan.
So a little bit more
fry light. A
light?
little bit more fry light, yeah.
Look at that pan.
Oh, it will because it's hot now.
Oh, can you hear that sizzling?
Right, and then put your mixture in the pan again.
There we go.
We'll turn the heat down slightly.
One.
Little less.
A little less, sorry. Get a bit carried away. Two. And three. Amazing.
And then you can add your flavours, so I'll leave you to it.
So, do you know what? I'm going to jazz it up now, miss. I'm going to do a little bit of bit. I'm going to put a bit of blueberries and chocolate chip at the same time. There we go. So, there we go. Another one of these. Oh, might put a few too many chocolates in that one. I can have that one later. Very good. So just waiting for those bubbles to appear. I reckon this one will be a bit quicker than the last one. So Miss Lloyd has now just walked off, but she's on her way back. There we go, Miss Lloyd. I think this one looks like it's...
so dedicated to the zester.
Yeah.
I've just fetched a quick zester out. So all I'm going to do is just take... You can actually use a grater. A fine setting on a grater works just the same. But I'm just adding a little bit of orange zest to that one.
I've never seen one of these before.
Have you not?
Never look at that.
Yeah.
That is called a zester. So you just get an orange and then you just sort of zest it onto
you just scrape it across.
Oh, that's brilliant.
You get the right angle, right? But you can use a grater.
Ah, yeah. So if you haven't got one of these posh contraptions,
just a fine hole setting on a grater works.
Should we give a grater a go? No, I've been told it's not been washed. We'll stick with the zester.
It has been washed, so if you pass it over, I'll explain why.
Oh, I see.
Right, this is actually a zester setting,
right.
But what I find is I don't like these. I like the ones with just the little holes.
Yeah.
So you can, sorry to borrow that off you.
Yeah.
You go over it, but what you find is nothing drops out. So I don't like that. So it does eventually, if you actually look in, you can see the zest sort of gathering.
It's almost too fine, isn't it?
Yes. So I actually like one of these, but with a fine one of these on front.
Yeah.
We have actually got some in the cupboards, but it's trying to find one in the cupboard.
Oh, what would happen if you used a cheese grater? Is that too big?
It's too big. You only have to take it off literally the orange. You don't want to touch the, what's it called? But basically that's what comes out of this if you use sort of that setting. I think you waste a lot, so I prefer either a zester or a fine grater.
Actually, I totally agree with you, Miss Lord. I think, see...
Right, they're ready to slip over, so...
Brilliant. So what are the giveaway signs of it needing a flip?
Bubbles, and they actually look set. So you can see the top there, it's shiny, but the outside is actually
just
set.
moving, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Excellent. Ooh. So when's Shrove Tuesday? Is it in February?
February, yes.
February. Oh, so this is a great recipe for next month then, guys. So pancake day. Oh, should we try a flip with the next one, miss?
I don't think we're going to do proper pancakes.
Yeah.
So
Sorry,
that
guys.
might be a little bit advanced.
Okay. We won't go there, especially with all the restrictions. We don't want to set the
I
school
don't
on
want to be
fire.
peeling them off the ceilings then.
No. Brilliant. So, again, nice colour, would you say, or is it a bit too much?
Again, a bit too much. This is what I'm telling people. So I've got the actually on a medium heat, but you're actually probably better at a low temperature. So that's cooked through.
Yeah. So I reckon when I do the next lot, then I'm not going to talk too much.
Okay, I'm going to leave you totally to it.
I am going to make it quick, and I'm not going to waffle on. Get the point. There we go. So.
It's a bit of spray first, though.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. So if I didn't use a spray, would it still stick to the pan?
It depends how non-stick pan you is. These, to be honest, it probably wouldn't stick to this pan, but I know some pans I've got wouldn't work as well.
Amazing.
You do like your pancakes rather large, sir.
Oh, yeah,
I tend to make mine much smaller than you, and I tend to make probably about double the amount that you do. I suppose having a young child, I prefer making them smaller so that they're more appropriate size.
I think that's a really good tip actually, particularly given the COVID lockdown. You tend to overindulge, so smaller portions are always better.
Flavourings over then.
Flavourings, yeah, here we go. Some more blueberries going on the top, there we go. And I think that might be the last of the mixture, so I might use up a few more. A couple have just gone off. Ooh, don't do it at home. There we go. And then a couple more. I might get a bit carried away with these chocolates.
Right, can you see how quick the bubbles are coming? I think we're going to thick these earlier than we did the ones before.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, so we're just waiting for it to look just a bit set around the outside. Don't mess with it yet.
Sorry.
We're all right.
Yeah.
Right, because we've got lots of bubbles coming up, which is obviously showing the raising agent working that's in the self-raising flour, or the baking powder for using plain. Right, but can you see how it's just starting to look set around the outside?
Yeah.
Right, I'd give it maybe another 10-15 seconds and then I'd flip them over.
You sure? Because look, it's moving.
Okay?
Yeah. Should we go for it?
Yeah, let's try it.
Oh, yeah, actually it's a little bit flimsier than the others. Might go wrong. That's what we're about here at Beacon Hill Academy, taking risks. There we go, look at that.
Would you like to pick the other two?
Yeah, indeed, here we go. In fact, that's the best ones I've done so far, isn't it? Can you agree?
Yes, I think they're perfect.
Oh,
I think
Mrs. John would be proud.
Yes,
yeah.
you would. And your John would be very happy to eat those for breakfast.
I think they would. And I cannot believe how simple the recipe is. So it's 250 grams of self-raising flour.
225.
225. A little bit of sugar.
40 grams of sugar.
40 grams of sugar. 1 egg.
Yes.
And then whatever you want for your mixtures, really.
millilitres of milk.
250 millilitres of milk, yeah.
Yeah.
Just as a side note there, say if you haven't got one of these measuring jugs at home,
you could use an ordinary mug, a smaller mug, and if you fill it how much you would normally put in a cup of tea, that's about 250 millilitres.
Brilliant. Fantastic. So I reckon he's ready to go actually. Oh yeah.
I think you've done a very good job, sir.
I think I have. So I think the third ones were the best ones.
I think they were.
And I think we are ready to host our dinner party.
Yes. And I think there's plenty for a family of 4.
Indeed.
Even saving a few for maybe a snack at a later date.
Absolutely. Well, I've got to see the leadership team now. I can take and share. Well, thank you so much, Miss Lloyd. I'm very, very grateful for you giving up your time. And obviously, we've got the options assemblies next week. And for those of you considering doing hospitality and catering, watch out for Miss Lloyd's next podcast. And join us again for Cooking with Miss Lloyd.
Thank you. Enjoy.